Once I thought I knew how to read this, but I have fooled. One of language's superpowers is the power to change your sense of self from one of isolation to one of connectivity. If I write a poem, for example, about loneliness or anger or despair, and someone who shares my language can read it, then there's a reasonable chance that they may recognize some of their own feelings or some of their own, anxieties in the work. In that moment of recognition, the burden that I felt as the author and the burden that the reader has felt becomes a shared burden. And so the burden is necessarily in some small way lightened just by the fact that it is a shared burden.
Literature has the potential to play a huge role in helping people be part of something larger than themselves, to be part of a community.
Then each day would be just like the last, unless they moved you, sent you off to foster somewhere.
I think writers are natural explorers, and maybe it's more of an exploration of the mind than it is of the world we live in. But I think writers have a natural curiosity to find something, and maybe it's within themselves, maybe it's external to themselves, but there's a search. There's a search for either an answer or for an instruction or for truth. And I think that's an interesting way to think about written communication and about literature. It often stands the test of time because it's been well crafted.
Language gave me my own world, so it gave me this world beyond where I was, what I could see, what I could feel. Words have saved me in multiple ways. As a teenager, I had an abusive stepfather, and I would retreat into my room and write. And I think that if I didn't have poetry at that time in my life, I'm not sure where I would have put that energy or those emotions. And then later, as an adult, poetry helped me overcome sexual trauma.
This is for the people who don't deserve half of the things life throws at them, but still keep a smile on their face because they have the confidence that one day it will get better.
The Writer's Garret makes the superpower of language available and accessible to anyone and everyone. So we are in schools, we're in youth shelters, we're in resource centers for teen moms teaching poetry workshops, and we're giving people access to words who wouldn't ordinarily have that. What happens when they write is they pull out of them what has been buried.
I'm stressed out and I cry all the time, but when I go to school, I smile and everybody thinks that my life is perfect.
They have the ability to just floor you, and you have to kind of wonder, if it weren't for this outlet, if it weren't for them writing these stories, where else would they put that energy, or where would that be directed? The Writer's Garret matters for everyone, even adults, even those of us who are teaching are still never done learning.